Hello and welcome to today's video. So on the workbench today we've got a couple AMC325 motor controllers. Customer sent both of these in. This one is supposedly bad, this one is supposedly good. And we need to copy the settings from this one over to this one. And we've got everything set up here to go ahead and test it. Make sure this one actually works first. This one, serial number 1440, has been here before. This one has never been here. This is, you can kind of see it in there, 1247. But yeah, this one I repaired. It's I repaired back in, looks like 2014. And looks like it was originally in here due to some power stage issues with a few popped MOSFETs there. But I don't know if it's actually been in use or it's just been sitting on a shelf somewhere, but or even if it went to the original customer. It could have been in another vehicle and they get moved around and people sell them and everything. But yeah, this one's the one that's bad, and it's seen better days. It's a little crunched. Now, despite this one's claiming to be good, it's interesting that it came with all the cables undone. It might be because they were trying to reprogram it and it wasn't working, so they sent it in. But we'll go ahead and test to make sure that it actually works. And we're going to go and try to power up this one and read out its settings. We'll program this guy. We'll get that one shipped off to the customer so they can get back up and running, and then we'll see if we can actually repair this guy. So go ahead and turn on power here. So all the way down and crank this up. Of course, we've got isolation transformer, just two back-to-back transformers out of a UPS. You can see they're just kind of sketchily wired together. So we've got 120 coming in. I think these output about 60 volts and back 60 and then 120 out over here. So we're going to crank this up to, I'd say around in here, about right there should be enough. I didn't measure it, but one of the things is this guy nominal is as long as 156 volts, and as long as we're under a 190, we should be okay. That's one thing. If you notice, this one's 22 kilowatt nominal, 255 amp max, whereas the one over here is programmed to be 32 kilowatt and 280 amp max. So we just want to clone the settings from. I think also the voltages are higher, but we want to just copy the settings out of this guy into this one. So let's crank that up. It should be pre-charging the caps inside right now. It's probably been long enough, so we'll go ahead and flip it on. We power it up. We'll put it in gear. Got regen off, and we'll give it, we got a little bit of power, and we'll give it a little throttle. And let's see if get both on the screen here. We'll power this up, and we're spinning. So that looks like that worked in Ford. I'll turn on regen, even though my only bleed resistors are those guys. So we'll use it sparingly. So I'll turn that on and not too bad. And we'll try reverse. Get a little throttle. Yep, so it looks like it's working. Regen to a stop. So yeah, that looks good. We'll go ahead and power it down. Take it out of gear. So yeah, it looks like serial number 1440 is still working. That was the last time I was here, and I forgot what year was that. It was a while ago. 2014. We're in 2021, so it's been a while, but it's still working, so that's good. But next we'll see if we can power this guy up and read out its settings. Went ahead and cranked up the power, so we're all on. Everything's hooked up. Should be pre-charged. Go ahead and flip it on. It powered up, so that's a good sign. We'll put it in forward. That means we can read it out. I was a little worried if it was going to be a power supply issue, then that makes it a little bit more difficult. We'll go ahead and see if it'll spin at all in forward. Nope. It's shorting out. You can hear the it's lighting up the air, and you can hear the it's got a blown phase in it, or something. It's not able to sequence. It's could be a damaged phase, could be a gate driver problem, could be a power supply problem, could be a shorted phase. You know, there's a lot of things right now. But yeah, if I put it in reverse, it'll do the same thing. It'll just air out. Yeah. So it airs out with an overcurrent, or there's some air. It's not able to make the motor spin, but it does power up. So I'll go ahead and take the back cover off, and we'll hook up the programmer, read its settings out, and program the other drive. So we've got the AMC325 programming port wired up to one of my AMC serial adapters, which I apparently made in 2015. So I got that hooked up. So yeah, that goes from the drive programming connector to a USB to serial adapter. I have my USB isolator in here just from a holdover, you know, before I had the isolation transformer. If you touch this, you would get zapped. About 60 volts or so, about half of whatever the AC or the voltage was, and would ride around on the kind of a sine wave would ride on the ground, and it could pop it would pop these USB to serial adapters. So that was the USB isolator, protects against that. It's not technically needed, but you know, still have it. So we're going to go ahead and run the programming AMC one. So we're going to flip it on, and we're going to hit enter just like it says. And we're in. We're going to go and we want to read data from the drive. We'll go grab that. And then we can view it. So those are all of our parameters. So yeah, it looks like the voltages, you can see the voltages here turned way up. So I think everything else is probably the same. But what we'll do is save data to disk. We will call this one, well, what's the serial number on here? 1247. We'll just call it 1247. And we'll hit OK. And that should be it. You can exit this, and we'll hook up the other drive and download that to it, and then we can ship that one off. We're now switched over to, oh, maybe you can't see that, 1440, serial number 1440. This is the one we're about to reprogram. Let's go ahead and flip that one on. I got everything all hooked back up. Get the adapter in there. And we'll go ahead and run this again. Now, turn it off, then on, then press enter. And we'll read it out just in case. And then we'll save this one to disk. We're going to call this one 1440. 40. And hit OK. Apparently we already have one. Just overwrite it. And next we will, well, we can go view and see what the what that looks like. You can see our voltages are slightly different. Currents are slightly different. But other than that, it's probably pretty close. But now we're going to load from disk. And let's see, what was the other one called? 1247, that was it. 1247. So we're going to load that. We're going to read that in, loaded. So let's view it, make sure that's the one. That one had the 205 volts, so that seemed like it was, that's what I recall from last time. And then we're going to write that to the drive. Supposedly programmed. We'll view it. Should be the same. Just to make sure, we'll exit the program. We'll kill the drive. We'll rerun the program. Turn the drive back on. And then we'll just read from the drive. Just to verify everything looks good. And yep, 205. So there you go, 205. So it looks like everything is, we successfully cloned it. So that should be it. Exit this. And yeah, so this guy's now cloned. Shut it off here. And I'll put the cover back on, unplug the programming port, get the cover back on, and looks like this one's ready to ship back. And we'll go ahead and see if we get the other one fixed. So I figured while I still have it all wired up, I should actually test it and make sure it works after being programmed. So I'll go ahead and turn it on here, put it in gear, give her a little bit of throttle. Yeah, that looks good. Oh, I've got regen on. We'll regen to a stop. And we'll put it in reverse, make sure that still works. Yep. Regen that down. So yeah, looks like everything's still working. Quick test. Power down. Yep, okay. Now it's good. I'll button it up, and then it's ready to ship. Thanks for watching. Bye.